Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better at Aquavita. Visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi Fruit Loop. What you know?
I just want y'all to know that you should be on these pre-conversations.
Oh my gosh. They're so fun. You know, I'm afraid one day, I'm going to forget that you're live and say something really embarrassing. Although we'll go back and take it out. About came close just now.
Yeah.
I was close.
It was really close.
I was close to embarrassing myself. Yep. So before we get started, we want to give a shout out to our awesome sponsor, Two Cool T-shirt Quilts. And I have to admit, today was the first day in a long time I went to the website just to browse around. I got some ideas bouncing around in my head. And after I went to the website, now I got a ton. So I didn't know this. They can work with jerseys. You know, the little holes in the jerseys? They can work with that. They can also do baseball caps, which is really cool. And photographs. They can superimpose photographs. That opens up a lot for me. Yeah. My house going to have quilts stacked everywhere. And also a really cool thing I thought about, because when my kids make stuff, I keep everything. And they can actually take your kids' artwork and integrate it into a quilt or a pillow. So you guys have to go check out what all they can do for you. Go to twocooltshirtquilts.com/ oh boy. I got a little acid reflux. twocooltshirtquilts.com / pretty lies and alibis. She'll know we sent you. Yeah. I mean, it's just like the devil's got a hot poker. Right there.
Right in your throat. Just remember, they can take your T-shirts and make them into a quilt that is too cool. And also remember, not just T-shirts. They can do regular shirts too. Yep.
Photographs, kids' artwork, all kinds of stuff. Yep. Really cool. So Fruit Loop, I called you yesterday and told you that some moron got into my Walmart.com account and spent all my money.
Yeah. So dumbest criminal of the day.
Yeah. We need to tell.
Okay. Scott needs to do this. Yeah.
Can I just say, I don't know. Okay. Person was a moron. I guess the number one rule when you're hacking into somebody's Walmart account, you immediately change the email address where the notification of shipping goes to, because they didn't. I have their name and their address. I have filed a police report with Richland County. They were actually on live PD down in Columbia. And among other things, 13 boxes of denture cream came out of my hard-earned money. Somebody's grandma is getting a whole year of denture cream for Christmas.
Wow.
They actually canceled the order, but man, you feel so violated. It's it's not the worst crime that could happen against you. I'm safe, but still it's knowing somebody was spending my money. If they'd have told me their Nana needed denture cream, I would have bought her some.
Exactly. Gosh. I still think it's funny though. They put their address in there.
Name and address, and I would blast them on here, except sometimes these hackers are smart and may use another name or an innocent person's name, and it ain't worth it, but whatever. I hope Karma Chameleon just right upside the face.
Hey, somebody was gonna have some pretty teeth though.
Well, they were, but they ain't got their cream now because that order was canceled. Granny gonna be gumming it. All right. So I put up my tree the other night and I posted about it on social media because I have I have an 8-foot tree in my little vaulted ceiling room. And my ornaments, I have a lot of my great grandmother's ornaments that start from the 1930s up through about the 60s. They're really cool. You've seen them. They're just very unique.
Yep.
And then
like the hand blown. They look hand blown.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And some of them are very creepy, I might add. And then I have my kids' artwork. And then one of our listeners noticed we were watching Hamilton, and we're fairly obsessed with Hamilton right now in this house. So last night I'm snoozing because I'm just super tired all the time right now. 3:00 in the morning, I thought somebody was breaking in. So I jump up. I have a knife in one hand, a baseball bat in the other. And I go, look, and Sherlock knocked my 8-foot tree over.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then I don't know. He was dazed. Like he was just trapped under the tree, but not trap. Oh my gosh.
My mom's cat got hung in the blind before one time and fell over into the tree like that.
No.
You know when like cats get stressed, they're like kicking and like just going crazy.
That's how. Well, at first I thought he was dead because he was just like laying there, but his eyes were big, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!" So maybe that will stop him from doing that. All right, guys, we have a live coming up this Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. We are going to be on YouTube, so we will post the link before probably that afternoon.
Yep.
And on Facebook and Twitter right now, we have a section where we're asking for your questions. So submit your questions. We're going to pull some of those. We'll also take ones during the live. The last one, remember, it kind of got stopped because we didn't know what we were doing. We're good now.
Yep.
So we're thinking about an hour-ish.
However many questions you got.
Maybe nobody shows up and me and you just talk like we normally do.
Nobody asks any questions. We'll just
So we're excited about that. All right, let's get started because we got a lot to talk about today.
Yep.
First off, it was revealed yesterday that Alec Murdaugh paid Eddie Smith. Okay, this is the guy that was with him in the roadside shooting. He paid him over $2.8 million over the course of so many months or a year. And get this, the last payment came like right before Paul and Maggie were murdered.
That's suspicious.
That's weird because look, it could be a fluke and maybe this has nothing to do with it. I think Harpoodlin and Griffin, his lawyers, had said that he was his drug dealer. $2.8 million. How you can't swallow opioids like that.
That mug's snorting gold dust or something.
Anyways, so he's in a ton of trouble. I mean, really, the guy just, yeah. And what about Jim Bob Duggar?
He lost his Senate primary race thing.
So sad.
How many votes did he get?
He got 456 votes. Half those were probably his kids.
Yeah, and their friends.
Well, actually, you know what's interesting is it was 15% of that jurisdiction. So that's, it sounds like small, but that's what's sad is 15% of people who voted thought he would be a good choice. But there was some Facebook drama yesterday associated with this election. So Jim Holt, who he and his wife both testified at Josh's trial just last week and gave really damning testimony. He posted this on his Facebook yesterday. I thought this was great. I can say this, and it hurts me to say, Jim Bob Duggar lied to me about the truth of his son when asking to court our daughter. It was clear he perjured himself on the witness stand at the evidentiary hearing on November 29th, 2021. He said that Mrs. Bobby was a past elder at our church in the time frame of 2003 and 2006. Up until November 2006, the church never had women elders, ever. I don't know what his church does now. Jim Bob was always conservative in many areas when I served with him from 2001 to 2002. The problem I have is if he lied to his best friend and he lied under oath, will he lie to you?
Ooh.
Those fighting words.
12-year-old
friendship that started all those years ago, kaput. I bet you $100. So Derek Dillard, who is Jill Dillard's husband, he responded to this public Facebook post. He said, "It's sad that this isn't an isolated incident. I used to have much respect for Jim Bob as my father-in-law, and I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt for years. Unfortunately, it's only become clearer to us over time just how deep this man's manipulation and deceit will go for his own gain at the expense of others. He has lied to my wife and I numerous times. Contrary to his campaign, he does not believe in freedom, but his manipulation has resulted in what is akin to human trafficking. When confronted privately, he is not humble, but he is defensive and verbally abusive. When he says he cannot be bought, the truth is he has a history of being a sellout to anything that he can personally profit from, and he will justify however he wants to continue his personal agenda. Again, if he has lied and continues to lie to best friends and his own family, will he lie to you?"
Uh-oh, there's some mudslinging.
Oh, it's going to be a weird Christmas.
That's why everybody, they going to start turning. Them kids going to start turning.
I know. It's going to be like the Hunger Games.
Yep.
Like Duggar edition.
Yeah.
Man, here's the thing. I think that they've done a lot of really shady stuff over the years. And when you do shady stuff, it catches up. I literally watched the very first time they introduced this family before the show was actually picked up. At that time, it was like 14 kids and counting. The first one is Josh. He looks to be about 15. And you think this started when he was 12. Jim Bob and Michelle knew he did this when he was 12, and they sold this show to TLC. And TLC promoted the heck out of the show, and they made a lot of money doing it. Jim Bob's a multimillionaire because of this.
Oh, yeah.
So it just, no family's perfect. All families, I guess, have little secrets, but I mean, this is a big secret.
I would not want my family on no show like that.
Heck no. Sometimes I'm scared, like doing a podcast. I'm like, what are people going to find out?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't done anything crazy, but it's like, you're out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I would never put my kids on this every single, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how much money you gave me. My kids would never be like in a public spotlight like that. That would be when they're old enough to choose. Let's jump back into the Gilbert documents. We left off. So one of the last things that we talked about was witnesses that had seen the Jeep or heard the Jeep speeding away, maybe heard a gunshot or two. That's where we left off the other day. And so before we do, my aunt said she is just now getting her phone and starting to see all the tons of messages. She said thank you, and she's doing great. So let's jump into Gilbert and see what's up.
Yep. So this is an interview with Melanie on November 3rd.
Melanice, yeah.
Melanice, yep. She agreed to meet with investigators but didn't ask why, because she knew why.
Yeah.
That's what they always say. The things you don't say tells people what you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like the questions you don't ask. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She brought her youngest child with her. Melanie said that they were in the final stages of divorce. She said she wasn't employed but received money from the divorce. When asked why they were divorcing, Melanie said Brandon traveled a lot and was starting to make bad business decisions. I'm pretty sure, didn't he sell one of those for like $1 million or something?
Yeah, that sounds like a really good business decision.
It's a bad business decision.
I mean, maybe her standards are like here and mine are here, but
yeah,
sound like a pretty good deal to me.
Exactly. She said she allowed him to make financial decisions because she was a full-time mom to their 4 kids. And right there, her moving and leaving those kids, I was like, what?
I mean, because to every normal mother out there, the last thing you want to do is, I mean, you'd have to drag me away if that meant moving far away from my children.
Yeah.
And these were little kids. These were not teenagers and 10-year-olds like I have. These were, I mean, I think the youngest was not even 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah. She said also she noticed a change in Brandon's behavior. She thought it was stress from work, but couldn't be sure. Okay, I sometimes give a shout out to people who send us messages. Peg Wilson just sent us a message on. So, hey, Peg.
Hey, Peg.
Hey, Peg. So she says she also found a lot of gay activity from surrounding Brandon. She found a video of him dancing on his phone. I'm pretty sure dancing videos does not mean you're gay. I mean, I'm just saying.
No,
Yeah. And gay pictures in quotes, but she didn't elaborate. I think that she's grasping.
no, that came from Lori, I believe. Lori was
Yeah.
the first one to insinuate that was an issue, which
But again, we know Lori was trying to drive her away from him
right.
because he knew Lori was out to lunch. So
Mm-hmm.
the investigator asked if he had any history of homosexual behavior, and she said no. She said he would become defensive if she asked. Well, if you're not and you get, I mean,
Well, if you are, you are. But this man,
yeah, I mean,
there wasn't anything in his past. And I mean, look, we're not saying that people can't be in heterosexual relationships and not be gay or lesbian or bi or
Sure.
whatever.
Sure.
But this was, to me, like, I never try to question anything about anybody. It's not my place.
Yeah.
But this just seemed too convenient.
Yep.
Of, religiously, it's probably frowned upon in their religion. I don't really know, but it just seemed really low. But I do believe somewhere she attributed that first mention to Lori.
Yeah. She said she also suspected he used illegal drugs, saying she believed he used ecstasy because it was a gay drug. She had no evidence to back up her suspicions.
I mean, throw us a bone here, Melanie.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to say all this, but I have nothing to back it up.
Right. Yeah.
She also said he wore sunglasses a lot and acted more confidently and had lost weight recently. I mean, that doesn't mean anything's wrong.
Look, if I'm selling businesses for like $1 million, I'm going to be acting pretty darn confident.
And I'm going to have some sunglasses on. I'm going to have some Ray-Bans or something, some Oakley, something.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the Facebooks, they ran marathons together. They did a lot of things that were fitness related. And if maybe Brandon was starting to get a little dad bod on him, like a lot of guys do, and maybe said, hey, I'm going to take better care of myself. I mean, now that's cause for alarm.
Exactly.
Should have complained if he sat around and got chunky too.
I know. He'd have gotten a Dunlop disease. His belly done lopped over his belt. When my mom used that with my dad, that's how I know that. When asked about finances, Melanie said Brandon made decent money since they'd been together. He had owned several different companies over the years and shared responsibilities with business partners and friends. Melanie was paid out by one of their business partners as a result of the divorce. She also received a payout from an insurance company Brandon had previously owned.
God, he paid everywhere for her.
I mean, you get to stay at home and watch your kids. Just hush.
Do you not? I kind of theorize though that one of the reasons Lori rode Melanice so hard is because Brandon was wealthy. Even before he won, the $17 million settlement when he was slandered?
Yeah, 12, 17, something.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
But it seems to me, again, like she finds the cash cow and zeroes in and then starts to put all that stuff in Melanice's head.
Yep.
About her husband.
Yeah. Yeah. So he paid her child support monthly. She said she wasn't worried about money, even though she didn't work. She confirmed she was still on his life insurance policy. She was supposed to obtain a policy on herself with Brandon as the beneficiary, but had not done so. And that was probably a court order.
Yeah, that happens in divorce.
Yep. We noticed that in Joe's case.
Yep. I mean, it's really common when you have kids that at least the non-custodial parent has to have a life insurance policy. It could be in some states they encourage both.
Yep.
It was just for the kids.
Yeah. When asked about her day-to-day of the attempted when asked about her day on the day of the attempted murder, she said Brandon dropped one of their children off with her that morning. But here we go. Couldn't remember what they did after he dropped the child off. But she said they sometimes would go to the park, the gym, and sometimes the mall, but she couldn't remember what they did yesterday. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's so dumb.
It's when you have events that label days.
Yeah.
You know what you were doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
She got some selective amnesia.
Convenient amnesia.
Right.
Yep.
That's what my parents used to tell me when I was a teenager, and they'd say, well, did you do this? And I'm like, oh. And they're like, you got selective amnesia.
Yeah, you don't know.
So Melanie remembers ordering groceries online. She made dinner and went to bed. When asked if she communicated with anyone, Melanie said she received multiple calls from Brandon, which wasn't normal. So Brandon texted that he wanted to check in on the kids and said he had a bad day. And that's putting it mildly.
He got shot at. Like,
hey, clearly he wasn't playing the poor me. He said, I had a bad day. He didn't say, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Melanie said she didn't reply until the next morning which was on the 3rd, and told him the kids were okay and she hoped he had a better day. Otherwise, she couldn't remember if she talked to anyone else.
Oh.
When they told her someone shot at Brandon yesterday, they said her expression did not change. No change of expression, and she stayed quiet. He asked if she knew of anyone who would want to hurt or kill Brandon, and said Brandon had lots of friends and spent time with people she did not know.
Trying to throw him off the trail.
Yep. She said he had a history of doing business with Charles, and she told the investigator about an open investigation by Chandler PD involving Charles and her Aunt Lori. She says Charles went to the house and threatened her Uncle Alex with a baseball bat.
Here we go. Got them lies again.
Yeah. She said Charles tried to hit Tylee, and as a result, Alex pulled a gun and shot and killed Charles. She said it was justified as self-defense, and Brandon tried to tell her it was murder and not self-defense, and Melanie thought Brandon was trying to put a wedge between her and Alex and Lori.
Everybody's trying to tell the truth.
Dude, everybody's always out to get these people.
Yeah.
I wish I had that many people invested in my life.
Exactly.
I mean, not in a bad way, but still, it's just like, it's kind of typical narcissistic behavior. You think that everybody's always focused on you.
Yep.
These people are just trying to stay alive around these people.
Yep.
So Charles and Brandon used to communicate regularly, and we talked about that in the Chandler dump, where we found out that Melanie had blocked that phone, Charles's phone number, and Brandon didn't know about it until after Charles was murdered. So Melanie told Brandon not to talk to Charles because he had cheated on Lori. So Melanie said Lori was someone she could trust and was very close to. She provided identification information for Alex, Lori, and Tylee. She was unsure if they lived together, and she denied knowing the specific location for Lori and Alex. She said the last time she saw them was 2 weeks before Lori moved, and she said that Tylee was in college or something.
But didn't know. But you live right next door.
Right. Yeah. Ooh, I haven't seen them. So we have a paid sponsorship with BetterHelp. Now, this is really, really cool, guys. We're going to tell you about it real quick. BetterHelp, this is not a crisis line or a self-help. It's actually professional counseling where you're matched to a professional counselor. And here's the best part, it's done securely online. And I think during COVID, we all learned that we could successfully see our doctors in non-emergent situations. And for me, I think online counseling is a wonderful idea because some people don't want to go into a counselor's office. It's a thing. Yeah. So you can be anywhere in the world and use BetterHelp. And once you sign up, you start communicating in under 48 hours. Some of the licensed professionals they have specialize in depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, and self-esteem. It's convenient. It's affordable. They even have financial help if you need it. You can message your counselor anytime, and you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. And what's cool to me is you're not just limited to who's available in your city. You get people from all over who are great. And so we want you to start living a healthier life today. And as a listener of ours, you get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at www.betterhelp.com/whattheworld. I love that they did that. So join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, it's www.betterhelp.com/whattheworld. All right. So we're going to keep going with this.
So we're jumping back in. So Melanie denies knowing a specific location where Lori and Alex are. She says she hadn't seen them in 2 weeks, which was before Lori moved. She said Lori had her autistic son with her and was unsure which school she wanted him to go to. That makes me sick, her saying had her son with her.
Her autistic son. It's
yeah.
like JJ need a label. I have my nephew's drug baby.
Exactly.
She always labeled him as not just JJ, my son.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate labels.
Yeah. So the investigator asked for any address or contact information that could help them reach them, and she would not give that type of information because she was told that people could track phones and use listening devices to gather information. Yeah, they got tracked.
Yeah.
When you're a murderer, you get tracked. Yeah, Melanie said Lori had to do her own thing while she figured out her divorce with Brandon. At the end of the interview, she asked if Brandon was okay. He told her he was alive. Melanie didn't have any further info for him, and the interview ended. He noted on October 4th his suspicions about her involvement increased, and there was some redacted stuff here, at both Melanie and Alex Cox's last known address. Which some of this stuff gets good.
Yeah.
October 14th, Brandon contacted the investigator and said Melanie contacted him and said she was moving to Boise next week with or without their children, which, again, that's what we talked about. That was a huge red flag. Brandon was taken aback because he had never heard Melanie talk about Boise. Boise, I remember.
Boise. Get it through your teeth.
Boise. I know, right? Boise. Before, and she would never want to separate from her children. She also had a rental agreement at the residence in Gilbert until July of 2020. And dude, them rental agreements ain't no joke.
No, if you break it, you pay for it.
Yeah. For Brandon, this was extremely unusual behavior for her, especially after the recent shooting attempt on him. Brandon had the kids during this conversation and would seek legal assistance about the custodial arrangement, considering her sudden desire to move. And I don't blame him. Parents take off with kids all the time. We do our missing stuff. They just found the one. And that's what it was. The dad ran with the kids. I don't blame him. Brandon called back. The divorce wasn't final, and she still had 50-50 custody, so she could take the kids out of state. He said he would not return the kids to her the next day as scheduled, and we know he didn't.
Good for him. Keep them safe from that crazy lot.
Yep.
So there's a text message on October 3rd at 4:06 p.m. from Alex to Zulema in response to her asking how he was doing. He said, "Wow, nice. Just waiting and laughing and singing. Are you coming up soon?" In the following weeks, additional homicides were discovered by investigators, and Melanie's relationship with Lori and Chad was confirmed because she moved to Rexburg in the same apartment complex. Biological evidence from the Jeep confirmed Alex was in the vehicle, and positive gunshot residue evidence was found around the back window, indicating the shot from the rear window as Brandon described. So there was a text message from Lori. Lori was staying at Melanie Pulowski's in Chandler. Tammy was shot at October 9th. Remember, Kay said Lori scattered when the dirty deeds were being done.
Yep.
So Lori's in Arizona when Tammy shot at. She gets out of town. Didn't she get the conspiracy charge on her though?
Yeah, Lori's the cockroach when the light comes on.
Yeah, right.
Scattering.
I'm gonna head out while the dirty deeds are being done dirt cheap.
Hey, so, what's that movie, Joe's Apartment or something? It's got the kid that was in Stand By Me. The actor, I can't think of his name. He was a chunky kid in Stand By Me.
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah. That's him.
He's so hot.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he's in that, and that's what it is. It's like cockroaches in his apartment.
Oh, yeah.
That's Lori.
I'm surprised it wasn't a Kindergarten Cop reference.
See, I hadn't done that one in a while.
I know. You're missing out. Yeah. Okay, so the same day at 11:11 p.m., Alex texts Zulema, and they talk for 38 minutes. Investigators note this is out of the ordinary for them, as they usually did not communicate with each other that late at night. So October 10th, Lori goes to Missouri, according to the text with Zulema. October 19th, the day Tammy Daybell's murdered. Zulema texts Lori at 3:15 that day that Tammy is murdered. Oh my goodness, did you know that was going to happen? How are you? How are you feeling? Maybe it was you that I saw at the temple getting ready to get married just yesterday, and the girl was tiny like you. Lori says, funny, I love you. Zulema says, ascended couples. Jules saw them coming soon. Nothing more powerful, she said. I love you too. Lori said, that's good news.
Her texts are so guarded.
Yeah.
Lori,
I mean,
she doesn't.
Lori wasn't, other than the whole Harry Potter-ish, casting spells at a moving truck.
Yeah.
She really didn't get too involved.
Mm-mm.
At 3:19, Zulema texts Chad. She's texting him at the same time she's texting Lori. She says, hi, Chad. I just saw your post. I hope you are okay. Yesterday at the temple, I had a vision that I was helping a bride get ready and helping her with her white dress. Then I see your post today. The Lord is wonderful.
Okay, is she talking about his post where Tammy died?
Yeah.
I mean, how can you say the Lord is wonderful when...
Oh, she said it.
You know what I mean? Like, how can you say that when somebody passed away?
Yeah. No, I was shocked when I read that too.
Yeah, I was like, what?
So Chad says, you read what Chad said.
Hey, Chad said, thank you, Zulema. I'm hanging in there. Our family has received overwhelming support. Yes, changes are underway. We have all felt Tammy nearby. She is very happy and already busy. Zulema says, her work is underway. I'm happy for her. I'm also excited to see what's next. I'm praying for you and your family. Much love and comfort to all of you. I hope to see you soon. Dude, what the world? These people.
Yeah. It goes, and we'll stop here. But yeah, there's no regard for human life. And
no,
that they're rooting for it though. This is their goal, was for Tammy Daybell to die so that these, what do they call it? Exalted couples or ascending couples.
Yeah.
Well, if you see, that's how it happened. And they all kind of were with each other you got Zulema Alex, you've got Melanie and Ian. I still can't figure out how he fits in this group. I thought they met on like an app, like a dating app.
Yeah, they met somewhere like that and didn't. They'd only been like, what was it, 2 weeks?
A week or two before they got married.
Yeah.
Gosh, every divorce story.
I'm sorry. You don't even know if they brush their teeth twice a day.
I know, right? They take a shower every day.
Yeah, you only know, do you like the
snore?
same food I like? Do you snore?
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. If you look at what Melanie's had with Brandon, and look, things can be very different online, but if you look at their online pictures, they were such a cute little family. She's in eyeball deep. Whether or not we see her get charged, still haven't heard anything about this grand jury. Not sure what's up with that.
Nope.
We know they met. Pryor confirmed in his filing that they did meet.
Yeah.
I wonder if they continued it or they're going to revisit some. I don't know. I feel like we would have heard something by now, but then I'm not freaking out that we haven't.
No.
Couldn't have been charges for Lori because her case has stayed. So it would either be Chad or a new contestant.
Hey, you know what came to my mind? That movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, love that movie.
When talking about Lori. I know she ain't crazy. She's playing the game, but that just came to my mind. One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Yeah, she flew to coop.
She flew.
So anyways, we're going to stop here just to try to space these out a little bit. And tomorrow we'll be back. We'll pick right up where we left off. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a very good evening and we will see you soon. Don't forget that live Saturday, 7:30. Tell your friends. Thank you to Michelle over at Journey to Justice. She's really been promoting this and sharing that in their group. So thank you very, very much. It was also in the Doomsday group. So we appreciate you guys. It's all a team effort.
That's right.
It ain't no competition. It's a team effort. We're all in this together.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
Please do. Yeah, come hang out with us. It'd be fun.
Yep.
All right. We will see you tomorrow, people.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.